this time to tell you a little bit about what's on my little mind today. All right, so we just started the book of Shemot, of Exodus. And I have a question, or not a question. I want you to do something. Imagine that you are asked to do something, and it's the right thing. You're supposed to do the right thing. You know it's the right thing. It's obviously the right thing. And you could either comply to do it, or you could do nothing at all. Just don't do it. I'm not saying you're going to do the wrong thing, but you're not going to do the right thing. You could do the right thing, or you don't have to do anything. Now, I know you're all thinking, of course I'll do it. I know that. You're all nice people. You're wonderful people. What else would you say? No, I don't want to do anything. I'm not going to do it. Well, not so fast. Before you do it, before you say you would do it, before you even think you would do it, you got to know something else. If you do the right thing, it's going to put your safety, your comfort, and your future at risk. It's going to also put your family, your children, at risk if you do it. Aha! I bet you now you're saying, I don't know what I should do. It depends, I guess, on what it is. But you're not going to just say, sure, I'll do it. It's great. No, you can't. How can you do it? So, I can assure you that we all remember a moment or two or three or four or five moments when we had to make difficult choices. Moments when doing what was right turned out not to be the easy option, or the option that you would jump to do if you had thought about it. Perhaps it meant standing up for someone who's in trouble, or for refusing to go along with someone that felt wrong, right? It just didn't feel right. Imagine. How would you feel? How we behave during those moments shape who we are, right? That's what happens. It shapes who we are. Oh, gosh. Okay. Our Torah is filled with such moments. It is. It's filled with such moments. When ordinary, flawed people choose values over convenience and quietly change the course of history, it was in our Torah. As we journey through our lives, you and I, we have the same problem. We all find ourselves asking if our choices are going to matter. Is it really worth it? Should I just sit at home and watch television? Should I go on a cruise? Whatever. It's just unbelievable. And as the journey continues, we have to make those choices. Okay. One of the most enduring stories in the Torah is often remembered as the story of Moshe. Obviously, we're reading it now. But when we look more closely, a deeper truth emerges. Even before destiny unfolded, even before Moshe ever did anything, already there had to be a series of moral choices that prepared the way for him. If not, there would have been no Moshe. Because before the history of Moshe unfolded, values were chosen and changed the path of multiple societies. We know that. Joseph had to make choices. He chose to save all of Egypt. What if he didn't? We wouldn't have any of these stories after that. But even more importantly, but maybe not so obvious, were these two ladies, Shifra and Puah. Now, we do a lot of talking about men in Torah. It's kind of like, maybe because it was the women who saved us from everything, and the only way the men could be happy was to tell us about what the men did. But the Torah tells us about Shifra and Puah. Who are they? These are the midwives who were members of Bnei Israel. They show their values at the very beginning of the second book of Torah that we started reading today, the book that we read this Shabbat, Shemot. Commanded by Paro to destroy the innocent life of all males born to Bnei Israel, these midwives, risking their own life, chose to do the right thing. They refused. They refused. They were commanded to take the male babies and kill them, drown them in the Nile. That's what they were supposed to do. They didn't. They didn't. They made a choice. They upheld the value of human life, even though doing so placed their own lives at significant risk. Their own lives. They did it. And that choosing what is right can demand real sacrifice, but could have an amazing effect on the future of humanity. It could, and in their case, it did. They're not even talking about saving their own children. They're saving others. Can you imagine what the world would be like today had there never been a Moshe? Can you imagine? I'm not saying that because I'm Jewish. If I was anything, what would the world be like without what Moshe did? What would it be like? Okay, there's two people there. Then we have that Basket River cruise that I talked about. They send them down the river or up the river, whatever. And Paro's own daughter, the one who said that all male children should be dead, should be killed, should be drowned, Batya or Bitya, whatever, her name is different in different cases. But his daughter, she was raised in privilege. She was surrounded by power. She chose compassion over comfort. She could have just let the baby float by and die. No, she didn't. She rescued this baby, Moshe, from the very decree issued by her own father. And she knew it. Her story teaches that empathy can cross boundaries. And it does. And that humanity can rise above fear, can rise above identity, and can rise above ideology. It can. Doesn't happen often in today's world, but it can. These examples show us that nobody needs a grand title or a great seat of power to create lasting change. You don't have to. Their ordinary hearts and their extraordinary values remind us, you and I, each of us, in our everyday lives, that we can choose to make a difference. We can. We may not realize it at the moment. Do you think Batya knew that Moshe was going to be who Moshe turned out to be? No. Do you think that the midwives knew it? No. But the differences we make today can morph far beyond anything we could ever imagine. Anything. This message is not limited to the Torah alone. History offers parallel examples. What about Galileo? He stood by the truth even when powerful authorities opposed him, even when they threatened to kill him for what he was teaching? What about Marie Curie, who pursued scientific truth despite personal risk and overwhelming barriers? These aren't Jewish people. These aren't B'nai Yisrael. These are human beings, regular people who wound up doing something that was wonderful and great and needed by our lives in our lives today. But they were like the figures in the Torah. They chose integrity over safety, and the world has changed because of it. In every age, what truly shapes the world is not recognition or status. No, it's not. But the values that people like us to choose when faced with difficult choices. That's what matters. It is choosing empathy when indifference is easier. It is protecting life when silence is simpler. It is acting with integrity even when it comes at a cost. Progress has never depended on perfection. The only God is perfect, and even God admits mistakes were made. Who am I? Who are you? Perfect? You almost have to laugh if you think you're perfect, right? It has always depended on people who cared enough to choose what is right. It continues to depend on people like you and like me. Now what happens? It's true. So now I'm going to make a blessing. May we all be blessed with continue to choose compassion, integrity, and courage in our own lives. May we all find the strength to live by our Jewish values so that we can uplift others and bring more light into the world. And we can. And we do. We don't always know it. May we always remember that the choices that we make today, no matter how small, no matter how we feel insignificant about them, doesn't matter. They matter. They truly matter. And let us all say Amen. Shabbat Shalom and Am Yisroel Chai.